Good morning, SKN. I'm Andre Cunningham.
And I am Cortensia Carty.
And
welcome to our show this morning. Episode what?
330.
I know, 330, guys. We are going through. We are getting there. And thank you for tuning in to Good Morning SKN. For those of you in St. Martin, in the diaspora, wherever you're tuning in, we are grateful. If your friends are not on, go and tell them that we're on so that they can put on their devices. So, Andre, you're good this morning?
I am doing awesome.
You look better.
Looking forward to the day.
Me too, me too. We now begin this morning with the latest in local news. This comes from a press release by TDC. As the TDC Group continues to celebrate its 50th anniversary activities, the company has launched the Warren Tyson Memorial Scholarship Public Primary Schools Tour to showcase its long-standing academic excellence initiative. On Monday, 24th April, Mr. Creos Freeman, a 1994 inductee, made the first in a series of school visits to his alma mater, the St. Paul's Primary School on St. Kitts. In speaking to the student body, Mr. Freeman shared his fond experience by detailing his journey from receiving the good news about his selection, the impact of the financial support through his tertiary schooling, the on-the-job training, and the value of the mentorship component of the program. The young lawyer ended his talk by challenging the students with a question and answer session. 3 of them walked away with cash prizes, 2 with $100 each, and the third a $750 donation towards his first year at secondary school. You see why I say I need to go back to school? These kids just have it good. They're lucky. Congratulations to those children.
Congrats, guys. Yeah. And still on the local scene, this one comes to us from the St. Kitts Nevis Information Service. Caribbery has been announced as a platinum sponsor of the highly anticipated St. Kitts Music Festival, and its top-selling beer, Carib, has been declared the official beer of the festival's 25th anniversary celebration. Alistair Williams, the chairman of the St. Kitts Music Festival's executive committee, expressed his gratitude to Caribbery for their continuous support since the inception of the festival. Williams said, quote, "As we approach our 25th anniversary, we once again express our profound thanks to Caribbery for their unwavering commitment to the success of the St. Kitts Music Festival," end quote. Caribbery brand manager Ajahi Dublin extended warm wishes to the St. Kitts Music Festival on its 25th anniversary and expressed the company's enthusiasm for continuing the partnership for many years to come. The festival promises a diverse range of music genre, from the electrifying beats of soca, reggae, featuring an impressive lineup of international, regional, and local musicians. Music lovers are sure to find something to get their hearts pumping and feet moving during this 3-day extravaganza.
I know everybody's
looking forward.
As we proceed now, our next story comes from a press release by the Nevis Island Administration. The Department of Community Development on Nevis thanked one of its own recently the day she embarked on her retirement as a civil servant in the Nevis Island Administration. After 33 and a half years in service to others, during a simple but a moving retirement gathering hosted by the department on April 27, 2023, at the Barnesgut Community Center, an emotional Mistress Lydia Claxton, who is the first Nevisian to captain the West Indies netball team, expressed her feelings on her tenure. During her tenure, Mrs. Claxton first served as a substitute teacher at the Charleston Secondary School in 1989. She later moved to the Department of Sports as a junior sports officer before returning to the Department of Education as sports coordinator. Her final assignment before retirement was at the Department of Community Development. She described her colleagues at the Community Development as a group of wonderful people, although there were times they knocked heads. She also saw in the staff the potential for greatness. A grateful Mrs. Claxton also thanked the staff for their support and the impact they have had on her life, while working at the department. So congratulations to Ms. Claxton on her retirement. And we here at Good Morning SKN wish you nothing but the best in your future endeavors.
Indeed, congrats to Ms. Claxton. And here's what's happening in the weather report. Today it will be mostly sunny with a high of 86 and a low of 77 degrees Fahrenheit. Take a look at your weather forecast. Up next, regional and international news. Stay with us.
Yeah.
An exotic experience.
Welcome back to Good Morning SKN. If you're just joining us, it is now time for regional news. This one comes to us from the Dominican News Online. The Caribbean Court of Justice, the CCJ, notes that the Constitution of St. Lucia Amendment Act has been asserted to by the Governor General of St. Lucia and that state has now officially acceded to the CCJ's appellate jurisdiction. St. Lucia now becomes the fifth CARICOM nation to take this defining step. Statistics collated by the court in 2022 reveal that in each Caribbean state that has acceded to the CCJ's appellate jurisdiction, the volume of cases being heard by that country's final court annually has at least doubled, thereby contributing to the dynamism of the country's jurisprudence and considerably expanding access to justice for its citizens. The Honorable Chief Justice of the Eastern Caribbean Supreme Court, Dame Janice Pereira, and the President of the St. Lucia Bar Association, Ms. Diana Thomas Hunt, has been written to advise of the readiness of the CCJ's registry staff to assist St. Lucia court officials, litigants and counsel alike in the use of the CCJ's electronic filing and the case management portals in order to facilitate access to the court. The CCJs look forward to more CARICOM states accessing the CCJ's appellate jurisdiction in the future.
That is so good, everybody's signing on.
It is.
On the international scene, from what's This story comes from the Times of India. WhatsApp users have been complaining about receiving both audio and video calls from unidentified international numbers. These WhatsApp calls are dangerous, and it is advisable that users do not answer them. WhatsApp has issued a statement on the same, saying that people should block and report suspicious calls. A WhatsApp spokesperson said in a statement, and quote, "Blocking and reporting suspicious messages or calls is an important step to combat scams effectively and when users receive calls from unknown international or domestic phone numbers." WhatsApp provides a convenient way to block and report suspicious accounts. It's important to report these accounts to WhatsApp so that we can take the required action against and ban them from the platform. Users can also control who sees their personal details and their online presence by using our privacy controls. The spokespersons added, "At WhatsApp, the safety of our users is at the core of everything we do, and we have devoted efforts to empower users with resources and tools that equip them to safeguard themselves from scams." WhatsApp is an industry leader in preventing abuse among end-to-end encrypted messaging services, and over the years, we have made significant product investments and launched user awareness campaigns that empower users to stay safe. So this is a good thing, because we see here in the Caribbean, we're always getting a message from a certain Mr. Smith. And Mr. Smith, we don't know you, so stop messaging us. Guess what? Every time you message our phones, well, for me, you will be blocked if you're looking. So
Plain and simple.
Plain and simple, Mr. Smith, don't do it. We're not interested, okay?
Block and delete. Keep it moving.
Indeed. Well, there you have it for regional and international news. WhatsApp users, please stay safe. It is World Lupus Day, so up next we will be educating you on that. Stay tuned. Remember, go tell a friend. It's Hump Day. GMSKN is on. See you after this.
Good morning. Good morning. This is Karen of Paris and it's a call from Paris, Vermont. I want to encourage y'all to sign on to Good Morning SKN every morning from 8 to 10 at Studio 327. Thanks.
What will it take to grab the attention of someone with the power to make your dream come true? 7 hopeful entrepreneurs in search of the finances necessary to take their ideas to the next level.
This is their lives, right? This is their business.
4 savvy business owners ready to make a pragmatic investment.
You can't help people if you can't help yourself. First, you make the dollar and you give the dollar.
Why you take your business offline?
I really feel that you need to do a little bit more research.
Very knowledgeable. Super knowledgeable.
You have a great idea and a great concept. I think you'd be snapped up by Disney.
If you have a job someplace, it means that if something is not working, you can walk away.
Who will invest?
Let's do this. Let's do this.
Thank you. And who will be sent home with nothing? I am your host, Kevin Hope.
No cash, no card, no problem. Dad, embrace the freedom.
Cheers.
An exotic experience.
Greetings, my lovely people. I'm Chantel, residing in Taiwan. 12 hours time difference. It's nighttime here, morning time in SK. I'm busy and on the go. However, I always manage to keep up to date with what's happening in SK. All thanks to Good Morning SKN. Good morning, SKN. Ciao, bango!
Welcome back to Good Morning SKN. Our first guest this morning, Petunia Bellot, is the St. Martin liaison for the St. Kitts Nevis Lupus Hope Foundation. She joins us to discuss World Lupus Day, celebrated yearly on May 10. Ms. Bellot, good morning. Welcome to GMSKN.
Good morning, welcome. Thank you for having me this morning on this World Lupus Day.
Awesome. And how is it there in St. Martin?
Well, honestly, it's not really it's not really awareness here. It's more in Anguilla and in St. Kitts.
Okay.
So now I'm here to try to get it together to have a group. So this morning, the school that I'm working at, Methodist Agogic Center School, they put in the school chat, Happy World Lupus Day, and let's continue to rally around Teacher Bella. So, that was really nice. They made me cry.
That's awesome. Happy to see you are keeping visibility there in St. Martin. Yes. So, Ms. Bellot, let's dive right into it. Define it for us. What is lupus?
Well, lupus is an autoimmune disease that affects different parts of your body. Most persons will say, oh, you look all right, you don't look sick, but everything is inside. It affects your organs. There's different types of lupus. It affects your organs, it affects your skin and your muscles. So it's an autoimmune disease where your own body attacks you.
Wow.
Ms. Ballard, some of us, like myself, we like to self-diagnose. So what are some of the symptoms that we should look for to maybe give us a little awareness that maybe we are on that road, or should we just visit a specialized doctor to confirm instead of self-diagnosis?
Yeah, self-diagnosis is not good because I too watch a lot of doctor movies like Grey's Anatomy, and I'm trying to I have this sickness. Or we Google it. It's not good.
Yeah.
For me personally, I had different ailments 2 years ago.
Okay.
And for no reason, the doctors could have found out like what's wrong. And then he said, let me take an A&A test. And like A&A. And he said, yeah. And I'm trying to tell the doctor, oh yeah, A&A. He said, be quiet, Miss Bella. Let me do what I have to do. Because I don't play doctor too. And when he took the lupus test, when he explained me, like, seriously, lupus, he like, yes, you have lupus. And I was wondering, first thing that came to my mind, is it cancerous? Am I going to die? He said, no, you can live with it. But when they do really a lot of tests and send it back to Holland, because that's our mother country, they didn't even send it to Curacao, they send it to Holland, and they realized that the lupus is very high and I have to be treated immediately. And then I am suffering with the one with the muscles. So when I do get a flare up, when the sun is really hot, and if I go out in the sun, if I eat different things, I will get a flare up. And with that flare up, my muscles will just be swollen. In a nutshell, when the pandemic came on in 2020, 1920, I was very sick. And I ended up in the hospital.
Sorry to hear.
But I wasn't with the COVID patients. I wasn't with the COVID patients because they had a separate part, but I was in the hospital really swollen. Like, if I'm going to be real, it's like, on SpongeBob where Mrs. Puff, the swell up.
Yes.
I was like that. Wow. So I'm easily to be swollen, but it's going to take a lot of time to go back. So one of the drugs that they really give me, they started to give me paracetamol, but that does not work for me. They give me paracetamol with codeine, and that does not work because it's a lot of pain. So I can be good right now, and 10 minutes after, I'm just start swelling for no reason.
Sorry to hear, Miss Bella. Sorry to hear about that. But I'm glad that you're here to talk with us today, and you're looking so much better.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm looking better outside, but inside sometimes. But by God's grace, by God's grace. So many lupus patients, they do not look sick outside. And people may wonder, oh, you have lupus. But then in a snap of a finger, you can be sick and nobody know what caused that. It's uncurable, but you can follow little health tips that I do. I do not go into the sun. I do not eat a lot of red meat. I'm trying to. But when I come to St. Kitts, I must have my goat water.
Of course.
Well, a little neat.
Yes. So Miss Bellot, you made mention.
But
you made mention earlier that someone who's living with lupus, you cannot tell because it's an autoimmune disease. So for this year theme, it's make lupus visible. How fitting do you think the theme is for this year?
Well, honestly, that's a hard question for me to answer because being visible means that it can be seen. But how can you do that? Persons must understand that disease cannot be seen. But when you hear someone says, I have lupus and I'm not feeling well, they should be able to understand that.
Indeed.
So it's not something where if you say you have a rash and you can see the rash, it's invisible. Lupus is invisible because you cannot mean. So for me, that team is like round around people to say, I am a lupus patient, I'm not feeling well, and you do not stigmatize and say, oh, but you don't look sick, you're all right. That's stigmatizing because you don't know what we are going through every day. So we could be good for 2 days, and then next 2 days we are down because it's a disease that just comes on like that.
How do you manage to teach though? Because I know lupus affects the joints, the muscles. I know you may have to stand for a little while, and I know persons with lupus aren't supposed to do strenuous jobs. So how do you manage?
Well, in everything you have to be honest. And when I had the interview with the school to get a job, I was honest with them and I said straight up, this is what I have. And they work with me. So when they say that when I say I'm not feeling well, there's an assistant to help me. So there's an assistant in my class, and I could tell her every day. If I come to work, this morning I came to work, she said, "You all right?" I said, "Yes." And she said, "Okay." So she works with me. The school works with me. If I get sick and I can't come to school, they know that I'm not one of them who pretending. Because in a snap of a finger, I can be, yeah. Because many, like a month or 3 months ago, the ambulance came for me.
Wow. Sorry to
Because
hear.
I got sick, I flew up, and I just stiffened out. And everybody, the staff was on board. And before school closed for the carnival break, a student got sick because it was into sports day, and I was in my class, and the ambulance came, and all the teachers came over. Like, Bella, we just saw you. Are you okay? And I smiled, and I said, no, the ambulance is not here for Bella. The ambulance is here for everybody. Because I make it fun. I get them to understand. So they do understand my ailment. Because my eyes are hurting me because like sometimes it affects my eyes. And I told the assistant this morning, I said, I want you to teach for the whole day. She said, no problem, just relax, and I will just guide her through. Because so the school and my boss, my director of the school, they work with me, and because of that I am elated. And there are some bosses that would say, oh, you always sick, but they do not. They work with me here.
I like the empathy.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Miss Bella, hold up the point right there. When we return on GMSKN, Miss Bella, share with us the significance of the St. Kitts Nevis Loop Hope Foundation. Stay with us. Much more when we return.
大家好，我是陈琦，早安 SKN。
What will it take to grab the attention of someone with the power to make your dream come true? 7 hopeful entrepreneurs in search of the finances necessary to take their ideas to the next level.
This is their lives, right? This is their business.
4 savvy business owners ready to make a pragmatic investment.
You can't help people if you can't help yourself. First, you make the dollar and you give the dollar.
Why you take your business offline?
I really feel that you need to do a little bit more research.
Very knowledgeable. Super knowledgeable.
You have a great idea and a great concept. I think you'd be snapped up by Disney.
If you have a job someplace, it means that if something is not working, you can walk away.
Who will invest?
Let's do this. Let's do this.
Thank you. And who will be sent home with nothing? I am your host, Kevin Hope.
Yo, what up? It's your boy N Richie right here at Studio 327. I'm here to give you the promo that you guys need because this is something special for St. Kitts. I'm telling you, tune in to Good Morning SKN, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on YouTube, Facebook, and on Moen Channel 4. Also, I realize nobody else is doing this. Follow the Good Morning SKN Instagram at Good Morning SKN and the Studio 327 Inc. Instagram. Follow us on YouTube and Facebook. This is pretty long, but follow us and yeah.
Welcome back to Good Morning SKN as we continue our engaging discussion on Lupus World Day with Ms. Petunia Ballot, St. Martin Liaison for the St. Kitts Lupus Hope Foundation. The theme, I'm going to go back to that. It says make lupus visible. You are speaking about it today, so I hope folks who are watching you in St. Martin will know that lupus exists and that soon you'll have a foundation in St. Martin as well. So what are some of the aims? Yes, what are some of the aims of the St. Kitts and Nevis Lupus Hope Foundation?
The aims are making sure that everybody is aware of the illness, making sure that people understand that we all need each other and stop saying that you're always sick and rally behind each person. So those are the aims of the St. Kitts Nevis Lupus Foundation, to have persons aware. And we do not want to celebrate always on the 10th of April, but we want to spread it out over the months that people can understand this is a disease that we have to live with.
Yes, indeed.
And Miss Bellot, earlier you shared with us some of the symptoms of lupus, some of the symptoms that you had upon receiving your diagnosis. Tell us, how did you handle the diagnosis when you receive the news that you are a lupus positive person?
Not good. I started to cry because I thought that it was cancerous, but the doctor assured me it's not cancerous.
Okay.
So some of the symptoms I had, the first symptom I had a blood clot. And most lupus patients, they have a blood clot. And I may say this, that Dr. Terence Drew, our now Prime Minister, he was my internist. Okay. So what he every time when school gives vacation, I will come up with all the results, because he will liaise with the doctor here, Dr. Simmons, and not the former Prime Minister.
Got you. He's not practicing anymore.
He would lays down with him, and I will bring up all the tests that he's looking for, because living with lupus, you have to do a lot of tests and the treatment. And I know St. Kitts do not have a system where you can just go to the doctor with your health card. So here in St. Martin, they have that. So I will just go to the lab, show my health card, and I will take all the different tests that Dr. Drew needs for me to be done. Okay. So upon receiving a blood clot, where I fell in town a couple, 2-3 years ago, I was at the hospital for a whole month, at JNF Hospital for a whole month, because the blood clot. And then after the blood clot, then they dig deeper and realize, well, something is really wrong. So when they dug deeper, I diagnosed with lupus. So here in St. Martin, they're already seen it, but going back to St. Kitts and really getting sick, it was really confirmed that I have lupus.
Wow, sorry to hear about that.
And some symptoms like the swelling of my feet, swelling of my hands, swelling of my fingers. It attacks my eyes sometimes, where my eyes is just red, and a pain like someone is taking a knife and just stabbing me and digging me down in the foot, and it's really painful. And you cry out. For me, I am not a pain management person, but for me, that is really extreme. So if I do get an attack here, and I go to the hospital, they will give me morphine. Okay. But the doctor do not want me to become addicted to it.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, because it can be really because morphine for patients, cancer patients.
Okay. All right. What are some of the activities that the St. Kitts and Nevis Lupus Hope Foundation have planned for today? And does the foundation celebrate lupus? I think that's the day, May 21st. I think that's Lupus Day, they call it, where you wear purple. They encourage everyone to wear purple.
Today.
Oh, today.
Today.
Okay.
Yes, today they will. But we don't want to. The foundation, what Keisha manages, she do not want us to cramp everything into one. So what she's doing, that we spread it out. Okay. So today is Wear Your Purple Day. Anybody can send her pictures. Can send her pictures with their. She's going to post it on Facebook, but then there are other activities we're going to do within the month. So it's not everything we want to pack in one day. And the first activity we had was we all went to church together. I think is Zion in the village, Zion with Moravian Church.
Okay.
I think the one down to the bottom of Lime Keel, Zion. I'm not sure.
Okay.
So
you started off with church.
together.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes. And today is Wear Your Purple Day. I have buttons. I came down with buttons and I sold it around the school and everybody donated. So that money I will bring back up to give to the foundation to say, yes, the buttons were really a sell-off because I don't have any more buttons. And then this morning, everybody is coming like, Teacher Bella, where's my button? You selling button yesterday. I don't get no button. Like, oh God.
So you have to take more next time.
More buttons.
Because you're definitely making lupus visible now in St. Martin.
Yes, making visible means that people are aware that you have lupus and be aware of the symptoms. Each of us has different symptoms. So my symptom is different from Keisha. Keisha may be able to eat something that I cannot eat. So it's a different, everybody's body is different.
Right. And Miss Bellot, you would have mentioned some of the symptoms earlier, but it is also important that we make it clear that persons who are at home and listening to your story and actually feel some of the symptoms that you just explained, that they don't say automatically diagnose themselves with lupus. It is important that they go out there, get themselves checked just to confirm. So, Miss Bellot,
and the test that you can go and confirm is an A&A diagnostic test. That is the test that is used to detect lupus. It's not a regular blood test. So you have to tell the doctors your symptom, and it may not necessarily be lupus.
Right. So
but
that's
the doctor
an A&A. And repeat it for us.
Yeah, A&A autoimmune test.
There you have it. So, Miss Bellot, in closing, can you give us some words of encouragement for those other lupus patients out there?
To my lupus group, Keisha and the others, I want to say, hold on. It's a fight, but hold on. And the most important thing is trust God. God is in the midst of everything, and He understands our pains, our cries, and my motive for the rest of the time that I am living on this earth is to live, laugh, travel, and have fun.
Oh, I like that.
Of course.
So, go ahead.
Yeah, travel, have fun, laugh, don't get upset.
Yeah.
And stress, I may say stress is one of the most key component for lupus. When you stress. So my motive here is, when you stress too much, and stress affects the body. Stress, and person suffering with cancer and you hear them talk is a lot of stress, and you don't know the stress put is on their kidney, on their liver, and so because our body is made up so unique. It's not made for stress, it's made for us to live, laugh, and travel. So I'm going to live, I'm going to smile, I'm going to continue. I'm going to stress my children. I tell them, don't stress me. Don't stress me. I tell my teachers, the principal, don't stress me. And let me laugh. I laugh at the most funniest of jokes. And this morning, a child came to me and he said, "Teacher, why is school open back for?" And I start laughing. I'm like, oh God, these kindergarten behavior. And the assistant, he said, "Oh, you have to learn." He said, "Oh, I could have do that at home." And we laughed. Wow. So I'm teaching her also, don't become me to take on the world. You cannot fix everything in the world. Right. It's impossible. Right. So live, laugh, and travel.
Okay. So for folks who may want to get in contact with the Lupus Association here in St. Kitts and Nevis, and most importantly to donate, how do they do that?
Well, honestly, I forgot Keisha's number, but she's named Keisha. Keisha, sorry, I forget your phone number. I'm gonna laugh. I forgot your phone number. You can meet her by the clock upstairs. She works at a building, and she's going to be on Facebook because we're going to be posting our pictures in purple. So you can get in contact with us. Think it is small. You can get in contact with her. You make a donation, and the donation is to help someone who is suffering and they're not able to purchase the medication, because I may quickly, the medication is expensive. For me, I could just go to the doctor and say, okay, I need my lupus medication, and he will give it to me. But when I came to St. Kitts, and the medication was $1 for one, and I get 2 boxes for the month here, 4 boxes, because it lasts me a month, because I take one every morning and every evening. And if you have to buy $1 for one. So I am happy that the government is saying that eventually they're going to get a health card, because health is expensive when you don't have medication. So donating to the foundation, it will help someone who may say, oh boy, I don't have enough money to buy 2 packs of medication this morning. So that will help. So the money is not personally for anybody. It's there for persons who need help in buying their medication, in buying, maybe they can't afford some of the fruits, that because eating fruits is also good, but not different kind of food, because there are some fruits that I cannot eat where somebody else could eat. So it's just like to say, thank you, buy this medication, buy this, buy that. So so this money that I collect, I will bring it back home. God's spare life, God's willing, because hopefully coming back home for Music Fest.
Come and enjoy.
Yes, and I will make that donation, and I will put something extra in it. I'm not going to say how much, but I'm going to put something extra, because it's the US with the EC, and I'm going to put something so that somebody may not run out of medication and they don't have. And when you're a lupus patient, you cannot work. Sometimes you call your boss and you tell your boss you're not feeling well. So it's just to help. It's just to help. And we all have to help each other. Indeed. So I just want to thank Keisha for giving me the opportunity to speak so confidently about the disease, because first of all, I must say before we leave, I was ashamed to tell people I have lupus. I felt embarrassed. So I just kept it between the family. But when I realized, wow, I didn't go to Rams, I didn't go to Carrefour, I didn't go to the Dutch market to buy lupus. I got it. However, I got it. I can control. You can live with lupus. We have lost a lot of persons with lupus here, because I've lost a friend a couple of days ago with lupus. When I came home, before I came home, I saw her in town, and I hugged her. I embraced her, and I said, hi, how are you doing? She said, girl, you always traveling. I said, girl, you know my aim this year. And then here, fortunately, she lost the battle.
Our condolences.
When I came in, so on Monday she lost the battle with lupus, and she had looked so good those couple of days. So that is what I'm really speaking about. And the community here now is starting to say, oh, so this is a disease that can kill. It can kill you, in the point where she had the one with the organs. Unfortunately, we are not here in the Caribbean to go on the organ list. So the doctors here in St. Martin, can do as much, but she lost the battle of lupus. So today I proudly wear the purple in honor of her, because she lost the battle, and last year we had so much fun together. So
Sorry again for your loss, and thank you for speaking with us today. It was indeed a pleasure, Miss Ballard. And we hope to speak to you again sometime. And thank you for doing your part to make lupus visible this morning.
Take care of yourself, Miss Bella.
And good morning to everyone. Good morning to everyone, and to all my lupus warriors. We got this. Thank you.
You're welcome. Have a great one.
You too. Bye.
That is. Good morning, SKN. Stay tuned. Well, I should say good morning, SKN Nation. Stay tuned. We have so much more after this short break.
Yo, what up? It's your boy and Richie right here at Studio 327. I'm here to give you the promo that you guys need, because this is something special for St. Kitts. I'm telling you, tune in to Good Morning SKN, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on YouTube, Facebook, and on Moment Channel 4. Also, I realize nobody else is doing this. Follow the Good Morning SKN Instagram at Good Morning SKN and the Studio 327 Inc. Instagram. Follow us on YouTube and Facebook. This is pretty long, but follow us and yeah.
No cash, no card, no problem. Dad, embrace the freedom.
Yeah.
An exotic experience.
We're happy you could join us this morning here at Good Morning SKN. On this segment, we will be speaking about social media and being employed. So, should a person's social media be considered by a potential employer? This is a question, and Andre and I will be discussing for this edition of Real Talk. Wow. So, Andre, do you really think that our social media should be a big deal when it comes to being employed or keeping our employment?
I like how you put it like that. For me personally, it's 50-50. Yes, I believe what somebody put out there is sometimes not a replica of them personally. But one has to be mindful what they put. I remember when I just joined Studio 327 and you asked me a question and one of my answer was, it's controversial. But for those persons who know me, know some of the topics I do discuss, and it sometimes can get you in trouble. It is touchy, and therefore some persons might see it offensive, but it's situation that need to discuss.
So has your social media gotten you in trouble?
Many times I've been banned. But
you've been banned?
Yes.
You mean by platforms? by the platform.
On the platform, not for posting something that is bad, but I mean, you know, the typical sharing something that you're not supposed to posting, sharing someone else's content.
I'm afraid to ask.
Sharing someone else's content. The usual stuff.
Okay.
The usual, or I mean, having a discussion and in my background, someone's audio playing like a popular singer that way. But I've been banned.
Okay.
I've been banned.
So for
not
good stuff.
Well, 95% good stuff.
He says, well.
But do you consider when the employer checked your social media, is it considered invasion of privacy?
No. You know why? Because you have it out there for them to see. If you didn't want them to see it, I'm sure there are privacy apps or mechanisms you can use to ensure that they don't see it, because the fact that your potential employers or these employers now can actually go on your social media and mark your business, as we would say, and figure out maybe this is not a good person. What if you're a comic and you just post all funny things or things that you feel jokey, and they be like, no, this person isn't gonna take my work serious, so I can't hire them.
So you think it's coming off judgmental?
It could, because if they don't know you, because I could have the nicest social media, and when I get to your job, you see I'm a monster, like that's literally true. Monster. That's true. Monster. Yes.
You ever hear the phrase "see me and come live with me" are two different?
Exactly.
Works perfect.
I think it can be considered, and it shouldn't be considered.
Interesting.
Because I read something that says, and quote, I can't remember where I get it from, so I'm going to quote it, that once your employer can actually fire you if you put something out there that they deem damaging, it doesn't have to be about the company, but something that will put you, the representative of the company, in a bad light.
Interesting. But what about those persons who would have been known to do for a certain, like, for example, they're known to, say, dancing, and they get recently employed to a company, and like, how do you give that person the opportunity, like, to change?
When we say dancing, what kind of dancing? Because I'm gonna give you funny you mentioned dancing. There's this lady that she is differently shaped, and she uses it to make fun of herself on social media. She was actually in court yesterday.
I think I know exactly who you're talking.
And I'm like, and her whole social media was on display, and the judge couldn't keep himself together. He was dying of laughter, and he'd be like, this is what you call entertainment? And her boyfriend is trying to say he doesn't like the publicity. It's getting publicity, but he doesn't like it because he likes what she does. He's cute, He likes what she does, but he doesn't want other gentlemen to DM her because of what she does. But you see, again, social media, and her potential employer might say, I'm not going to hire you because of the things that you're doing, but she's doing it for fun.
It does have. And recently we would have interviewed Chef Noel from Canada. Chef, for those persons who know Chef Noel, Chef Noel is a professional chef. However, sometimes Noel show another side of himself, who is his comedic side. And what if persons would look on his social media and say, me ain't gonna employ him because this is what he puts out there, and not taking the time out to find out what he does and what he So I think sometimes it can come off judgmental. However, employers have to look out for the best interest of their business.
They do.
And so I think, tell us.
No, I'm asking you but they have to look out for the best interest, but shouldn't they get to know who we are first?
Exactly. Exactly.
But you see, the social media thing is to our own detriment.
It can make you and it can also break you.
You mentioned dancing. What kind of dancing though? Are we talking
when I say dancing, I mean
dancehall, bad dance?
Just dancing. All the different genres of dancing.
But, listen, even if you do the two-step, that's not bad. But what kind of dancing would be considered as bad?
Tell us. Head top. We're going head top. What if, say, for example, someone is in the professional scene and they have put a video out there with them, quote unquote, head top dancing?
And that's it,
I mean, but like some person might see it hilarious, and other might see it as So you're coming off judgmental this morning.
I am? No. Listen to this.
Okay.
Hold up on this one.
I want to hear this one.
We have Juve Morning on the 26th of December every year.
Right.
Now, certain employees go out and they enjoy themselves, right? We're not going to say the institution that these employees work.
Right.
And now, that was the 26th. Now you see me on the Monday, which is maybe the 28th or the 29th or somewhere there, and you think I'm the same person that you were gyrating on at Juve. No, the buck stops there. And that's when people are going to look at you and like, oh, but you wasn't the same person that was blah, 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 blah. You see, so you really have to be mindful.
Right.
People don't know where to draw the line.
That's true.
So us putting certain things out there, we have to know when to draw the line, or if we're going to put it out there, we make sure it's not. But where can it hide though? We make sure it's not in the open where our potential employers or our current employers can see and think, well, okay, Tanti and Andrew are behaving, so this is not a representative and I'm going to use our current job, Studio 327. I can't have this. I have to speak to them, and maybe that could be our boss. You say, I'll speak to them, but some bosses might say immediately, don't come back here.
But as I said earlier, how do you give that individual the opportunity to change if
you speak to them?
Well, and if it continues, then you could...
You have to go.
Well said.
Fair enough.
Well said.
But the fact that now the social media is being used as part of our hiring process...
As I said, it can make you and break you. Indeed. And whatever you put out there, it stays. It does not go away.
Do you see what happened when people run for politics? How people go and dig back. Oh, they smoked weed when they were 10. Oh, they did this when they were 10. Who used to be a go-go dancer. Like, why is it relevant? Because it was put out there and it stays there, and then it got dug up from the grave. So we really have to be mindful.
And has an employer ever admitted to checking your social media before hiring you?
No, I've never had one of those interviews.
No?
No. What about you? You're looking a little guilty this morning.
Well, I mean, not an employer, but I see where the former... What's his name? I can't even remember the former president of the United States. He was the one who...
DT?
Yes, he's same one. Shout out to you, DT. If you know who I mean. But he was the one who actually went further with it. Like persons who are interested in getting a visa, it is now a requirement to check their social media platforms.
I didn't know that.
Yes, Mr. DT. You did that, sir, before you came out of office. But yes, it's now a requirement when you're filling out that visa application to put your social media platforms in the application. Yep. So have to be mindful.
That I don't know how to post properly. I thank that.
We have to be mindful what we put out there. Indeed.
So for those of you who intend to apply for a visa, Andre just gave you a little tip. So whatever you have, but no, you can't take it's out there.
It is out there. I think, he did it probably because of persons who want to hurt America.
People,
like those persons are out there. So we have, and funny enough, like it's so weird to me, like persons engage themselves in some active, like the other day I saw a gentleman waving a gun and he went live with it, and then 3 seconds after I just see him in handcuffs. Like you persons have to be careful what they put out there for real.
Look, the recent shooting in Texas. They went back to social media. Everything is there.
Everything was there.
And I wish they would have seen it before, because they could have prevented that. Because he hates women. He hates a barrage of person. He hates himself. Because the fact that he can go out there and do that to people,
sad.
Yeah, but it was all on social media. And if you realize, every time something happens in the US and they go back and they do the check on the computers or whatever devices, the telephone, whatever, these people would have researched a barrage of things. So your social media can send you to jail as well.
It can.
Because they have all the evidence.
It can.
Now,
said this is a topic that, trust me,
you can go on
one segment cannot cover it.
One segment cannot cover it at all.
Cannot cover it.
So I think the employees checking our social media accounts is them making an informed decision, and that encourages us to put things out there that won't harm us in the future, or things from our past that will come back to haunt us.
But
so
sometimes they need to use discretion though.
In terms of, you mean being judgmental?
Yes. Okay. So those employers out there who are looking on our social media before hiring us, depending on the situation, put yourselves in their shoe. Maybe they do it to earn an honest bread. You never know.
Ooh.
That's how social media operates.
Is this about dancing?
Next.
Indeed. Andre, I really enjoyed that discussion, and I hope our viewers did as well. Let us know in the comment section what you think about employers checking your social media status to determine if you will be employed or whilst employed. Stay tuned. Much more after the break.
No cash, no card, no problem. Dad, embrace the freedom.
Yeah.
An exotic experience.
Good morning, SKN. Wagwan. Yo, it's Ben's Lad coming to you live from Jamaica. You see it already. See me, I say Caribbean people stand up and I love this. This show is very important. You understand me? Yeah, man. Studio 327. Ben's Lad. It's a big up. See me, I say. I'm the whole innocent crew. Yeah, man. More love.
Good morning. This is Karen of Paris and Zippo from Paris, Vermont. And we want to encourage y'all to sign on to Good Morning SKN every morning from 8 to 10 at Studio 327. Thanks.
Greetings, my lovely people. I'm Chantel, residing in Taiwan. 12 hours time difference. It's nighttime here, morning time in SK. I'm busy and on the go. However, I always manage to keep up to date with what's happening in SK. All thanks to Good Morning SKN. Good morning SKN. Ciao, bango!
Welcome back to Good Morning SKN. And if you're just joining us, we are about to discuss the quote of the day.
Quote of the day, indeed.
So let's get right into it. German philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche once said, and quote, "You have your way, I have my way. As for the right way, the correct way, and the wrong way, it does not exist."
The only way.
The only way.
Yeah.
Does not exist. So let me repeat that again. You have your way, I have my way. As for the right way, the correct way, and the only way, it does not exist.
Yeah, because...
You think so?
Yeah, because, Andre, you might do a math problem. I might do a math problem. We get the same answers.
Right.
But our formulation,
Different
get those
way.
same... Different.
Perfect example.
Am I to tell you, your way is the wrong way? You got the exact same outcome as me.
I agree.
So we can't tell people, what you're doing is wrong. This is the correct way. There is no such thing. Is there such a thing as the correct way before I go blabber in my mouth? What do you think?
There are correct way to do things, but not because you do it that way does mean it is the correct way. So yes, and one perfect example is for those mathematicians out there, simultaneous equations. There are so many ways to find x and y. Yes, back in high school, we would have come up with so much ways just to find x and y. There are different ways. Exactly. You go what you said, the long route, and then you have a shorter version of arriving at the same conclusions.
But you notice how our teachers ensure that we knew the long route before we take
like
the short.
Why did they do that to us? I mean, looking back.
I guess they thought it was better for us to learn.
Maybe because they went through it.
But it makes sense. So at least because for those of us adults with children, we become teachers again. We go back to school once we get turned, because we have to remember in our brains all these old things. So I think us knowing to the teachers the correct way, which is the extremely long way that we could have gotten it with the short way that we figure out, maybe is what works for them. But hi. So with that says, right? We don't have to walk the same path as everyone else, and you correctly say that because you're a chef.
Right.
I'm just a normal cook. You might have your way, you might have your dash of this, you might sprinkle fancy, you might do all of these things, but I'm gonna cook the same thing, and then when the chef tastes it, he'll be like, it tastes like mine, and then I can tell the chef, man, you measure me and do that, me sprinkle this, man, and
exactly.
And we got to the same thing, right?
Let me share a scenario with you. Like at home, I was doing the local, like to call it cook up. Like persons would saute their meat and the rice and but I like to put on the pot with the water, let the water boil the natural. But at the end of the day, it's cook up.
How you saute?
Yes, man. They put the seasoning on the meat and they stir it up first, and then after they throw the liquid on top of it. But I put the liquid in first, and then I put
everything in
after. But at the end of the day, it's one big cook up. It's the same. So how you start it off is not how I start. But at the end of the day, it arrived the same way.
Because again, what we do, we boil with peas.
Yes.
So that's the water. So the water boil in there.
Yes.
Then we throw in the seasoning. Then we add the rice.
Right.
We dash in the chicken. But some people fry the chicken before. I don't know why. Because the cooks
right. They brown it first. Yeah. But at the end of the day, it arrived at one conclusion. One mix up.
Cook up.
We arrive at the same thing.
I like that.
Yep.
This also said, Andre, that there's no such thing as the correct or only way, and we discussed that already.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. Importance of paving your own path and leading a life that feels most authentic to you. That is important.
Because sometimes we say, let me copy this person. Let us be like this person. And oh my gosh, if God wanted us to be like that person, he wouldn't have made us to look. He wouldn't have made us to look different. He would have said, okay, you look like that. You be the clone of that person. You do what that person's doing. Because as we said, what matches one will match the other. We don't wear the same size.
Nope.
We don't look the same. So we should be proud of who we are and just find our own path, as I would say, sometimes you look at social media. Back to social media. I don't know if you saw this one where somebody used the handle of a bleach bottle. They put a magazine behind with a tropical destination, and they were making songs, I think, with an air dryer or something. So somebody thought they were traveling to somewhere.
Wow.
And then eventually the person pulled back to show the perception that you really can't believe everything
Perfect
you see.
example.
So you definitely just have to live your life, because a lot of fraudulency is happening out there, and with social media it's only getting worse.
Yep.
And I think once you buy into these things, that's where we end up with a lot of issues, because we stress ourselves to be like the Joneses when we just need to just humble ourselves and be ourselves.
I agree. But it is, you see the word listen, it comes in to this discussion. It is important to listen, because sometimes if we simply listen to each other, life would be much easier.
Exactly. Not argue. No, you're wrong.
Yep.
No.
Yep.
Maybe that person has something that they can actually teach you.
Exactly.
So just hear them out and offer advice if need be, or don't offer advice, because we don't even take our own advice.
Right.
So we really have to be mindful of what we are doing. So, as we said before, the importance, or Andre would have said before, the importance of paving your own path and leading a life that feels most authentic to you. So be you.
Interesting. This is often the cause of disagreements with loved ones. Yes.
No, especially when we were younger, we can answer like our kids. Like, no, the kids can reason with their parents and the parents bite. But before you try to, no, mom, it's not that way. But they listen to one side of the story. How you like it, Andre? I don't know if you have the same experience. When the neighbor complained you because they know your mother like beat, right?
Yes.
And you trying to tell your mother, but this is not what had happened. You can ask this person. No,
and
I'm not asking that person. They
it's
just
still
take
not
the elder.
Right.
Take the
It
elder
happens.
word,
It still happens.
Oh, well,
still
I don't
happens.
think kids will get licks now because people complain then.
But you see, Courtney, disagreements at times does not always have to be hostile.
They don't, but they end up so, right?
Oftentimes
we can
they
agree
do.
to disagree, right?
Yep, we can. But it doesn't always end up the way we think it would happen. But sometimes it's okay to disagree or agree to disagree, as they put it.
But does everybody buy that though?
That's the thing.
Because I guess myself and you, we can agree to disagree. I could say, okay, as I said before, Andre get his part this way, but if I do the same thing, I get my part that.
Right.
So you could say, but you shouldn't do that. And then we can just be like, you know what, it's all right. At least we get the same result.
Yes, but you think if you're using that phrase, you think it will come off a bit rude? Because you and I
disagree?
Yeah, like you and I having a discussion now, and I am not taking your point, you're not taking my point, but just because I want to quote unquote shut you up, I would say it's okay, agree to disagree. Yes, it can come off a bit rude
depending on the situation. But it depends on the way you say it, because you can say, okay,
so it's all about the tone, right? And the delivery.
Exactly, the tone and the delivery. But if we're having a heated discussion,
right?
Anyway, let me agree to disagree.
Yes.
Like, you really think I'm buying your stupid point? I'm just saying what I want to say, so you could done it as you rightfully.
There you go. Shut it down.
Shut it down. So, and there is this correct way. As for the right way, the correct way, and the only way, it does not exist. There is a correct way to do certain things, but not all things are correct, if I can put it that way. And there is not just one way to do anything.
Yep. And even one other classic scenario, when you're referring to the phrase agree to disagree, like many persons today think that the world is flat. Others think it's round. But we could go on and on. If you want to say the world is round, if you want to say it's flat, we can agree to disagree.
Yeah, so I'll agree that it's flat for you, but I disagree because the pictures that I see daily shows us spinning on
it is
on
wrong.
An axis.
Right. But to be honest, which one you believe though?
Wrong. You believe flat, right?
It's hard to prove, but I believe it's wrong. But I mean, look at the look. I mean, like
the pictures from outer space.
So many planets out there. Say I'm on Mars and I'm looking down on planet Earth, and you're seeing all that body of water. How does that water don't trip over in the universe?
Oh, Jesus. I guess the gravity. That's what holds it.
Interesting.
The gravity.
Can you imagine? You're on Earth, and seems to be flat.
From where we're standing.
You go to the beach and you see the large body of ocean in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
However, when you look on the world map, planet Earth is actually round. But how does that water stays? It's
it's the work of the big one. Yeah.
Shout out to you.
Andre shouting out to the big one.
Shout out to you.
He did a wonderful work.
All things bright. You know that song?
And beautiful. All creatures great.
There you go.
All things wise
and wonderful. The Lord God made them all.
Indeed. And as our last point said, Andre, you can only live for you.
That is it.
So
that is it.
Live for you. Agree to disagree. We do not all arrive at the answer the same way. So let's be mindful of how we treat each other, and I would say remain humble. So not because you may have a degree or you may know more than me, you're better than me. Guess what? When we die, we go to the same place. Even if you're richer than me, you're gonna get a tombstone, but you're gonna rot the same way as me, and you're gonna go in the same earth as me.
Exactly.
So there's no difference. The only thing that matters in the end is our soul and the goodness that we did on earth. Because you could have been the richest person and you didn't contribute, everybody's gonna remember you as a Scrooge. So, yeah,
I agree.
We really have to be mindful.
So there you have it, folks. You have your way, I have my way.
Yep.
As for the right way, the correct way, and the only way, it simply does not exist.
It doesn't exist.
Stay with us, folks. Much more when we return on GMSKN.
What will it take to grab the attention of someone with the power to make your dream come true? 7 hopeful entrepreneurs in search of the finances necessary to take their ideas to the next level.
This is their lives, right? This is their business.
4 savvy business owners ready to make a pragmatic investment.
You can't help people if you can't help yourself. First, you make the dollar and you give the dollar.
Why you take your business offline?
I really feel that you need to do a little bit more research.
Very knowledgeable. Super knowledgeable.
You have a great idea and a great concept. I think you'd be snapped up by Disney.
If you have a job someplace, it means that if something is not working, you can walk away.
Who will invest?
Let's do this. Let's do this.
Thank you. And who will be sent home with nothing? I am your host, Kevin Hope.
No cash, no card, no problem. Dad, embrace the freedom.
It's hump day, and we're happy here at Good Morning SKN that we can get you over the hump. We hope you've been enjoying the show so far. You've gotten everybody to turn on their devices, and you're all watching us. Let us know in the comments if you are and from where you are watching us this morning. So in today's segment, we will be bringing back another edition of Twitter Reacts, where we go over comments in the Twitter thread, started in the Twitter thread, starting with the question, what shouldn't be embarrassing about this? No, oh my gosh, what am I saying this morning? What shouldn't be embarrassing but is? Yes. Lord,
Let's
be with
see.
my
I
eyes.
can't wait to see what Twitter world have to say.
What should not be embarrassing but it is?
What do you think?
Breaking your heel
That's
because
embarrassing.
your shoe would have dry rot.
That is embarrassing because you have
But it
some
shouldn't be.
you have some persons walking around in some shoes that should not be in those shoes. So when it actually break, it should be embarrassing.
So why are you trying to tell the people them the foot don't look good in the shoe?
I'm just
So it's okay for the shoes to break?
No. As I said, you
so
have
Andre, my shoes don't look good today?
Hello.
Oh, okay. So what I said, they're making me laugh. What I said just now was an error. So, we are going to do word confession.
Weird
confessions, yes. So Andre don't have to talk about the shoes.
And I was ready to dive in it.
I'm glad I saved somebody from the shoes. So I enjoy chewing on plastic hangers when I'm putting my clothes away.
What's his name? Dr. Paul?
Dr. John Paul.
Dr. John Paul. I enjoy chewing on plastic hangers.
What kind of
when I'm putting my clothes away.
That's weird though. Why would I be chewing on plastic hangers?
When you say hanger, he mean that you use hang up your clothes?
I would like to think is that the only no hanger should be chewed on, but the only hanger I think his teeth can handle, you know, the flimsy ones that come with the kids' clothing,
right?
Like you can bend them and they instantly break.
Well, I could understand that.
But to chew, what if he's chewing on the plastic ones, the kind of heavy duty ones?
But normally the plastic ones have a metal inside, covered, wrapped.
No, not the plastic ones, not the heavy duty plastic ones. You know the ones I mean, like the orange, the gray.
Oh, I see.
But why would you chew on?
That's weird. Definitely weird.
You need to see a psychiatrist. Dr. Paul.
That's a weird one.
Very weird.
At Claring Martlon said, I catch feelings looking at invisible cameras multiple times a day like I'm Jim.
So he catch himself looking at invisible cameras? I don't understand.
This definitely is weird.
I catch myself looking at invisible cameras multiple times a day like I am
Jim. Who is Jim?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. I'm having a hard time with this one. I catch myself looking at it. So
this is more than weird.
Yeah, because maybe he's accustomed to where he works. Let's just assume.
I was just gonna say the environment he's in.
So maybe he thinks even if he's
camera,
he's on camera, so he's looking in the corner.
I get it.
See if the boss is seeing if I'm putting in some work.
Yeah,
it's weird though.
But I mean, person.
But Jim,
it's weird.
Unless Jim is the person that's behind the camera.
Too weird so far.
Yeah, weird.
Both are weird.
So when I'm listening to music in public, I can only have one earbud in my ear at all times. I need to be aware of my surroundings. I only put both in if I'm on a bus or a plane. No, that's crazy.
If he's on a bus or a plane, then they put in both.
That makes sense.
But if he's listening to music in public, I only have one earbud in.
He needs to be aware
I get
of
this.
all the time.
I get this one. This one is definitely not weird.
How is it not weird?
You know why? If you're in public, right, you have to be aware.
Oh, you're not bossy in public?
No, but you're not at the helm of things, so your life is in someone else's hands. So you could definitely... Just live for the moment.
So when you, Mr. Andre, take your long journeys back home or to the US, you have both earbuds in and you are unaware of what is happening.
I have no control over that.
Hello, you still need to be aware, because if an emergency develops and you and you say everybody, then you might be like, oh, these people hadn't gone to you. That's bad.
Courtney is being technical this morning. Because let's be human for a bit.
So why would you plug your ears on an aircraft?
Because I just want to enjoy the moment. Yeah, just
enjoy
relax.
the moment and not be aware of your surroundings. I guess that's the FA in me.
Well,
you have to be aware of your surroundings. The only time I have both headphones in is when I'm exercising at home, and then I still take out one a little bit because if I'm singing too hard, I need to know. But
you see how our discussions in the morning can come together. Very well done, team at Studio 327, because we just was discussing agree to.
Disagree.
And
I cannot agree to disagree with you. This is where we're gonna ignore. The correct way is, and although it doesn't exist, is that you having one headset at all times, or even if you having two, at least have them loosely in, so you could be aware of what's going on, because you don't know when things develop.
Okay, I can say this: if I am in the public atmosphere and I'm walking in particular, I understand having one earbuds in because I want to be, aware of what's happening.
Yeah.
However, if I'm on the bus or on the train or someone else is in control, I can be free for a bit. I can put in both earpads.
The only person's hands I'm putting my life in is the man that's in control of the universe.
Hallelujah.
I am not going to be unaware of what is happening. So when I see some walkers on the road with both earbuds in, I'm like, guys, gals, no, one. Because you need to hear if something's coming, like, skirt. You need to know if you need to duck in the bushes, jump in the bushes, dive in the bushes. You have to be aware of what's happening. You can't run with two earbuds. You can't walk with two earbuds. That's a no-no.
But I think you're not understanding what Plain to Asia is saying. He said, when I'm listening to music in public, I can only have one in. But if he's on the plane or on the bus, it is okay for him to have two in. I don't see anything wrong with this.
I'm going to agree to disagree with you because it's wrong.
And I was not going to back down until she does. So, next one, guys. When I'm in a public bathroom, I take the toilet paper that's hanging off and flush it down the toilet.
This is not weird. I do that.
The one that's hanging off?
Yeah, because somebody else touched that.
Oh,
that gotta go.
I wasn't looking at it that deep.
No, that have to go that have to be flushed, brother.
So you're saying that's not weird?
That's not weird, no. That's not weird, because you don't know what...
We can agree on that one.
Yeah,
we can agree on that one.
So Kiki Queen, girl, I'm sure I and you are not the only one that do it. We remove the piece that we thought would have been touched by someone else.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
I will purposely dislike something if I think too many people like it. Look me here. Yeah, I was the last in my family to get the cell phone.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I will purposely dislike something if I think too many people like it.
I don't want
just because you want it.
No.
Listen, I have been in situations where even back in school, I would, because say for example, the teacher put some ideas on the board and I know I have that book at home that could help me well on that topic, and because I don't want the other students to get the point, or I want that topic to go home and research because I know I can get 100 or a high mark, I would say, sure, that topic they're going hard. So I try to make create that confusion, so to speak, so that they don't pick that one. Because I want it, so I would kind of throw them off because I want that topic.
Because you have the upper hand?
So to speak. I get this. This is definitely not weird. I will purposely dislike something if I think too many people like it.
That's me. I don't
This is not weird. I like this one.
So you purposely throw the people them on.
Listen, if I go into the car mart and I want a car, and so many persons want the same car, I'm going to say, no, too much mileage. I would say something because I want it for myself. So I will give you some negative feedback because I want it. It happens. Totally not weird. I like that person's at knees JJ. Big up yourself.
Wow. If I hit something accidentally like a chair, I ask for forgiveness because I don't feel really bad. No, I don't ask for forgiveness. I shove the chair. You would swear the chair can feel like, in my way. Like the bed, I would kick the bed again. Although it just hurts my pinky toe.
So you would apologize to the
No,
to
I'm
the chair?
not apologizing. I'm whacking it. I just said I shove it because it's like it's in my way. It should not have been there. Or the bed, I give it an extra kick with my next foot, hoping that it doesn't catch my pinky because pinky toe hit that bed.
That's
oh
it.
My God.
Now this one definitely not weird. It happens.
I'm not asking that for forgiveness. I'm not asking no chair for forgiveness. The chair probably laughing. Hey, I got your pinky.
I
know. No.
When I grab a snack in a store, I always reach towards the back. I feel like it's been touched less and it's less germy. Kudos to that. That's me.
I go to the bottom of the shelf, y'all. When I go to buy anything in the supermarket, even a bag of rice, I take the one from the bottom. I reach all the way in the back to get the bacon, and I go all the way underneath.
Yes.
Yes.
Especially when you're buying fruits. Those mango, those ones on top, or tomatoes, those
Those are the ones they're trying to get rid of first.
So they put them on. There you go.
Trictionary. Even the meat.
Exactly.
On fresh days, you don't want to see me like I dive in for gold all the way to the bottom. So when you see me in the supermarket, no, I'm going for everything that's on the bottom.
Just brush them aside. Because, I mean, it's facts. Like the tomatoes that are more soft, the mangoes that are more soft, they put them on top. So they want to get rid of them. I dive down.
Yeah, I always go to the bottom. You may think I'm weird, but I know what you're doing.
Definitely not weird. I feel like it's been touched less and it's less germy.
Less germy and less soggy.
Kudos to Miss. Kudos to Miss
Sassbox.
We agree with you, girl.
Volumes have to be in intervals of 5 or it'll bug me. Volumes
have to be in intervals of 5 or it will bug me. So I assume this person is a musician.
I don't know what to assume.
Volumes have to be in intervals of 5. So, when you're playing an instrument, the chords, I mean, like, you have to play on a key. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1.
You're missing out the 5. Now you're going to annoy her.
Exactly. So that's her point. So it is weird, for real. It is weird. This one is a technical one, but
I'm gonna leave this one.
I figure
I have no comment. I'm agreed to disagree on that one. I don't know. I don't know.
At Alia, we disagree.
Andre disagree. Well, I don't know a thing about this because I don't know nothing about no music and no notes.
And at Daisy Day says, every time I look in the mirror, I stare at myself for a long period of time and then act like I'm looking away in hopes of catching my reflection moving or blinking when I'm not. Boom. That's me. Corty?
My co-host is weird, y'all.
I am not like...
Listen. So how would your reflection wink at you and you're moving away? Then that's Jumbie. I would help out of that room so fast on your
Even before I came to studio this morning, I was looking at myself and I just turn. And when I turn, I can just vividly see my reflection looking back at me.
Andre's got ghosts in his house, y'all.
It's not weird. I love this one. It's not.
Okay, that's your good thing, but that's weird to me, yo. Why?
It's not weird.
That's Jumpy.
Let's go, guys.
I make up situations in my head and act them out time to time. How though? I can only see the scenarios where you're plotting to have a conversation with someone, you're plotting to ask someone for something. I can only see those, but I don't. What situation is she an actress?
You make up situations in your head and then act them out time to time.
Oh my god! But she has to be an actress because I can't figure out why else.
Can't figure out this one either. Why would you make? That's the first sign of cuckoo.
Champagne, mommy. Boy, she needs to drink some more champagne because this is definitely
You make up the situation in your head and then act them out
time to time.
Time to time.
She must be an actress.
She's trying to be an actress.
How can you assume?
She's trying
I have to say the Champagne Mommy is an actress because this is weird.
I agree. This is a weird one.
Unless I'm rehearsing a conversation that I need to have
and you
with
want
someone.
to perfectionalize it.
In fact, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I guess. I guess.
I mean, like if you're meeting someone, like someone who is in.
So you're going on a first date.
Right, and you don't want to
rehearse everything.
So you want it to come off perfect.
That's
so you
the only time I would act it though. But maybe she had the situations like those. Let's hope it's that, or she's an actress. Because other than that, cuckoo. Clock.
I agree. I agree. I like the taste of sand when it rains. I like the taste of sands when it rains.
Sand.
Is it the physical sand that we're talking about here? Because
I can't think about any other sand.
I like the taste. Okay, hold on, because this is interesting. Have you ever, like on a hot day, and then when the rain comes down, there's that smell in the atmosphere?
Yeah, the earth.
Yes.
Earth.
Maybe it's that sand they're talking about. Cannot be a physical sand. There's a scent when it rains.
That they have this show on television where people eat soap powder, they eat soap.
That's true.
They eat plastic hangers. So the plastic hanger thing
I was watching,
weird,
speaking of show, I was watching this documentary where some tribe in Africa actually mold the earth. And like how we make bakes, pancake.
Oh, you mean the cookies?
Yes, dirt cook, and they would actually eat it.
Nasty.
Listen, when you look on those people, them big and fat and chirpy and bright.
From mud.
From mud.
So that means we should start eating all in these parts.
I forbid.
Not going to happen.
I forbid that.
Nope. So that person likes to eat sand. Kudos to you. There's a lot of organism and germs and things in that sand that can get in your body. And just imagine what it's doing in there. Stop eating sand. We're not supposed to eat sand.
Definitely weird.
Yeah.
Bye, Boomfly. That's her name. At Boomfly. Whoa.
No, I think it's Bombio5. So I sleep with the TV on because when it's quiet, I start overthinking things and my anxiety kicks in. Hey, this works for some people.
That's me. The TV puts me to bed at night. I just let it run.
Never wakes you up?
Nope.
No,
I
can't
sleep
do that.
right throughout the television.
Nope. Light annoys me. Anybody turns on the light on Quartentia in her family knows you don't turn on the light. Nope.
Wow. If I go to bed and I turn off the light, turn off the television, and I hear the slightest noise, it's gonna wake me up.
But the television noising will wake you, and the light that probably flashing across your eyes not gonna wake you.
I could understand the light, but the TV puts me to bed at night.
To each his own.
We can agree to disagree.
And why you overthinking? This is somebody that suffers from sleep apnea. Then they can't sleep. That's why they're up.
I guess so.
Overthinking. Oh my gosh. I empathize with you, but because they normally say if you deal with blue lights, especially before bed when you're sleeping, it runs through your mind.
Blue lights.
I've experienced that.
Wow.
Like your phone light, the television light. I've experienced that, so I don't. No, I can't sleep with no television on.
So you think it's weird?
Very.
Okay, there you have
To each his
it.
own.
To each his own.
Yep.
Next one, guys. All doors and closet in the room gotta be completely shut when I'm sleeping.
Yeah.
Yep.
I hate to see
Especially
open closets. Yeah.
Yep.
Why do we leave our closet door through a back door? That don't make no sense. Shut the door, man. Shut the door.
I mean, we have neat freaks out there. I am one of them.
Like myself.
Yes, I am one of those neat freaks. And trust me, if something is out of place, once I get home, I'm gonna know. And if it's not back into place, I just feel uncomfortable.
Even the mere mat that occupies the front of my bed. If my husband moves it, I fix that mat, I swear. Oh my God, I don't want to exaggerate. Over 50 times a day. Because it has to be a certain way for me. If it's all the way out, it's annoying. So I have to fix back the end.
Well, let's hope your husband not watching and think you are weird. He does?
It's not weird. He knows. I'm a neat freak. I like things in order. Like when shirts are taken off of hangers, I want those hangers moved from the location where they were. So I personally take them myself once I see shirts or pants are off of them, and I pack them in the front with the other empty hangers because that's where they should be.
Interesting.
So if I'm weird, okay.
All doors and closet in the room gotta be completely shut when I'm sleeping.
Yeah.
Totally not weird.
Can't sleep
I
with the
agree
door
with you.
open.
I agree with
Even
you,
if
Ryan.
To enter the room has to be shut.
Kudos to you at True424, Ryan of Wildlife. I like that one.
I usually just have a movie or YouTube playing in the background while I mess around on my phone. Makes me feel less lonely. No. YouTube plays, my phone's down, I'm doing something else. No.
I can't. I mean,
that's weird.
I multitask when I have to multitask, but to be trying to focus on something and having music playing in the background.
Well, we do that when we study sometimes, How about that?
I can't when I'm studying. Anything else, but when I'm studying, quiet.
Okay.
Total quietness when I am studying. I can't with
music and everything else. Okay. Well, guys, let us know in the comments if you thought those were weird, because some of them were especially weird, especially that sand. That person that
that's sand. And we're still on the great debate about those AirPods, 1 or 2.
Awareness is good for each and every one of you. And you want to be aware when you would have placed your life in somebody else's hands. Because we've seen many videos where bus drivers fall asleep. The most recent, a little 7-year-old had to guide the bus. And, well, that person didn't fall asleep. That person fell ill. So had that little boy had both earphones or had his head down in his phone or his tablet, he would not have been able to think as quickly as he did and save the lives of the bus driver and himself.
Point taken.
On an airplane,
point taken.
You need to know what's happening. You need to listen for sounds. So one earbud is not going to kill you, okay? Even if the baby's screaming and you put it in, you're still going to hear the screams of the baby. You don't have to agree with me, but at least you can take a little advice.
I agree.
You agree?
I agree. I agree now. We agree.
I made you a believer.
You did. Just did. Well, there you have it, folks. Stay with us. We'll be right back after this.
No cash, no card, no problem. Dad, embrace the freedom.
Cheers.
exotic experience.
No cash, no card, no problem. Dad, embrace the freedom.
Welcome back to Good Morning SKN, and thank you so much for staying with us. We often don't appreciate what we have until it's gone. That includes your health, your family and friends, your job, and the money you have or think you will have tomorrow. In this discussion, we'll be talking about this very phrase that it is just so common.
Until it's gone.
So, Hortensia and I will be loosening up a bit. So let's get right into it.
Because I ain't loosen up yet. Loosen up yet.
But it's a fair statement. Sometimes we don't appreciate what we have until it's totally gone. And then you'll say, if I had known.
If I had known, yeah.
But
that's our favorite phrase.
And it always comes after.
After the fact. As they said, the job of the employed is the dream of the unemployed. Same thing. The money of the rich is the dream of those that are poor.
Right.
And sometimes the rich say it isn't even worth it to have all that money because it still doesn't bring you happiness.
I agree.
So, and we take our friends and family for granted. We, you're gonna be there tomorrow, man. I could do this, I could do that, or whatever. We don't meet up with that person.
Right.
Next minute, we hear the person's gone, and you'd be like, "But it was fine. I was gonna get to him or her," and then
very common.
We
it's
never
very
get
common.
to them.
Nothing in life is guaranteed to be there tomorrow.
Yeah, we always talking about tomorrow. Why don't we not do it today?
Today, live for today.
Yeah,
I agree.
because Andre, we used to say here today, gone tomorrow, right?
Right.
No, we here today, we gone today.
That's it. You better believe it.
And the way the world is going, as I said, back then we buried elderly persons. Who are we burying now, Andre?
Precisely. They're very
our
young.
Parents are burying us. We were supposed to bury our parents.
Right. It's very sad.
So we really have to, you know?
What causes us to take things for granted?
Time.
We indeed.
We have more time.
Yep.
And that's not necessarily guaranteed to us because, you have your assignment, it's due on Friday.
Right.
But when you can put in the work now, and then Thursday you can relax, knowing you have a bomb assignment, you're going to get 100 on it.
I agree.
You waste time, and then Thursday you pelt in. You being pessimistic about the situation, you're pelting on Thursday, on Thursday because you think, oh gosh, I need to finish it.
Yeah.
And you had time to finish it.
So that's one of the causes of why we take things for granted, because we think we have time.
Why else would we take things for granted?
Why
else other than time? What other things you think? Why
we take for granted?
How about saving the money this month? Or you'd be like, nah, I can buy that thing that I want. I don't necessarily need, because guess what? I'm gonna get paid next month.
And then something comes up, and that money that you put aside to use to cover that expense, something else major or important comes up, so still left in the predicament.
Exactly, because when you're gonna save $200 now, you ain't got none
to save.
Because the 100 that you thought you would have been able to make next month, because you think you have time. And if Corona didn't teach us something, I don't know what else is gonna teach us.
Indeed.
Because we saw most of us that had our savings, thank God, that's what we used during that tumultuous, should I say tumultuous, difficult time. And for those who didn't have, they were dependent on others.
Exactly. So It is safe to say life can change in an instant. In an instant. Because even looking back at COVID, none of us saw it coming.
No, and look at the big plans we had for 2020, because what we thought we had
time. Exactly.
2020 showed us.
When the mere just looking at the year itself, 2020, I just think it was going to be fascinating. I mean, you lived through the 90s, the 1990s,
2020
and then 2020 vision comes in, and you're, it's going to be a fascinating year.
So many plans.
So many
and
plans.
Almost all of our plans were shelved because so many of us lost our jobs. No fault of ours. We were made redundant, etc., etc. And some of us were planning trips for that year. Why? Because we thought we had time and we were going to save the money and all this were going to happen. And it showed us that nothing in life is guaranteed.
Correct. Make sure you appreciate what you have while you still have it.
Yeah. It makes sense because you might see something and want something bigger and better. But I think once you appreciate what you have, where you come from, you remain humble, bigger things oftentimes comes your way. As we say, we never miss the water till the well runs dry.
Perfect
so you will have
scenario.
this. Let's use a relationship. We say I love to use relationship.
Right.
You think the grass is green on the other side. You buy into that. You go over there, and it's worse than where you came from.
Right.
When you could have worked out the kinks, etc., or stay by yourself. Say you still thought, over there looking better. Let me go over by the green grass. You go over by the green grass. You lie in the grass. You get some serious pricks, and you wonder what's going on here. Under the grass fake.
Exactly.
Plastic grass.
Exactly.
So it's never how it appears.
And that includes your health, your friends, and your family.
Yep.
Even look at the situation with Boswick, that guy Chadwick Boseman,
Boswick.
Right, like
Boseman?
Chadwick Boseman, the guy who acted Black Panther. Like, look at what happened to him. Like, no one knew what he was going through, exactly. And even Kobe Bryant and his daughter, that they just lost their life in an instant flash.
I don't think they knew when they boarded that copter that in the next, let's say, half an hour, if that's the time it took to go down, that I'm literally walking to my death. We never know.
Never know. Just have to appreciate what we have, because tomorrow is just not promised.
Do you ever try to be cautious about certain things, though?
I do, because we're humans, but it's just a natural human instinct to be cautious. But why do we do it, though?
Weird, I'm going to say. But I think of scenarios, like if I'm going to cut my finger, if I'm going to fall downstairs, I'm going to get in an accident, and I try to determine my outcome. I know I can't control it, but I try my best not to take the day-to-day opportunities that I get in life for granted.
Right.
Including getting to work safely and getting back home safely.
I agree.
Because anything can happen in that short space. So I try my best to be on my P's and Q's, on my lookout, because when you're driving for you and the other thousands of persons that live in our small island.
Absolutely.
Yep. And showing more gratitude. Even me, if the knife missed my fingers, I'm like, thank you, Lord. I'm grateful. Even if I'm grating coconut to make some dumplings.
Because guess what?
Be like, thank you. Like the simplest of things. I just say thank you. If I missed the couch out of bed with my pinky, I'm like, thank you.
Because it could have been worse.
It could have been worse.
Definitely could have been worse.
So you have to be grateful.
I agree.
Gratefulness is, how should I say, a multitude or a bountiful basket of blessings. So be grateful in every single thing, be it good or bad, because some things come to teach us. We never get the lesson before the test. We always get the lesson after
and live your lives to the fullest as it is your last. You ever see an individual out there just always having a fun time and you wonder how they do it?
Although sometimes I think they could tone it on.
Well, that's true, but I mean, persons in this present day and age, we just have to just take one day at a time and just live it to the fullest as you can, because tomorrow
it's not promised.
It's not promised at all.
We live for today.
Yep.
We live for this moment, and we be grateful while doing it. Remember, your job is the dream of the unemployed. You being rich is the dream of the poor. You only know the value of your health when you get sick, and you only know the loss when you have no more family members around you to support you.
Yep. And there's a famous quote out there: the cow don't know the use of his tail until the flies bothers him.
So make use of your tail.
Exactly.
Indeed. And with that said, we'll take a short commercial break and we'll be right back after this.
Stay with us, guys.
Yo, this is your boy Smiley of the Grandmasters Band, and you're watching GMSKN. Hey, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, just make sure you're watching GMSKN. What up?
It is that time of the day to let you know. No, we're not going to let you know what's happening today, but we're going to say thank you for joining us on our Hump Day show. We hope you would have enjoyed the show. You will let us know in the comment what you thought of today's show and what you learned from today's show. So tune in daily, where you can find a little bit of everything for everyone. Get your friends and family to watch. Also, remember to follow us on our social media platforms, including Facebook and YouTube at Studio 327 and Instagram at Good Morning SKN. Remember to like, as I would normally say. Thank you for those of you who are subscribing. We appreciate you so much. Continue to subscribe. Get your friends and family to watch and subscribe as well. Yes, I'm going to include that again. Follow and share, and also check out our website at Studio327Inc.com to learn more about Good Morning SKN and Studio 327. Thank you.
And you know I'm gonna put in my favorite part. So long, farewell to you, my friends. Goodbye for now, until we meet again. So folks, leave us a comment and let us know what was your favorite part of today's show. See you tomorrow at 8 a.m. when you start your morning with us. Have a productive day, guys.
Indeed. Bye.